Announcing the commencement of the first purge.
I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich. You get out there, you use your weapons, and you rip Washington apart. You hunt down the billionaires, the bank bosses, the CEOs, the scumbags, and the liars, the governors, the lobbyists, the senators, because they're all the same, and you hang them.
Just remember all the good the purge does.
Good morning, everyone. It is March 29th, 2020. I'm Eric. I've been getting some good comments in my comment section, and one of them made mention of the pen being mightier than the sword. Well, this is not really the case. Now, I've done a video on this topic before, the pen and the sword, and their relationship. But since then, I do believe my channel has been taken down by YouTube or Google, and I had to start fresh. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the pen and the sword and how one is dependent on the other. So, the pen and the sword. The saying goes that the pen is mightier than the sword. Well, there's a problem with that idea, okay? A big problem. And just to give you an example of what that problem is, I'll throw a hypothetical at you. Say shit has hit the fan, alright, and rule of law is gone. And your neighbor comes over to you with a list of demands, things that they want you to do, provide to them. Sort of like a Negan type arrangement. And for those of you who have been living under a rock for 7-8 years, Negan is a character from The Walking Dead who goes around and extorts shit from people. So they come over and they hand you this piece of paper with a list of demands or orders that you are to follow. But they don't have any swords, at least not enough to make their whims enforceable. So what do? You tell them to go fuck themselves, right? You tell them, fuck you, get out of here. And sure, you may end up in a conflict with your neighbor, but the point is their words had no bite because they didn't have the sword to wield next to that pen. Without guys like this, people like this could not tell you what to do. Pen, sword. The pen is parasitical in nature. It feeds from the wealth of the public, right? Sucking up the resources of the public. And one of those resources is the sword. These guys. But you see, they would be a lot like that neighbor if it were not for individuals like this who are willing to go out and enforce the arbitrary, meaningless bullshit written by politicians. Would not be obeyed. It is only through fear. Fear of retribution from these guys that people willingly obey. And it's not willingly if it takes tens of thousands of men with guns to force people to do it. And one blessing that could come out of a pandemic is these guys get thinned out. Not enough of them to effectively control the population. That could be a positive. Then, and these guys are used for your domestic policies, your domestic laws, right? And these guys, another branch of the sword, they enforce the whims of guys like this big mouth and Barack Obama and the rest of them, the bankers. So you see, the pen is not mightier than the sword. In the absence of the sword, the pen can only write. Right? So, and I'm going to keep this video short. Sunday, I'm going to do some family activities, but the pen is not mightier than the sword. As a matter of fact, the population of the United States has enough swords to overrun any one of these agencies. We don't even need the swords. We have the numbers. But, you know, sword is a good thing to have. Anyway, thought I would share these ideas with you. Let me know if you agree. It seems pretty obvious to me, but what's obvious to me may not be obvious to somebody else. So let me know what you think in the comments section. If you like my material, please do subscribe, like, share, and there's the PayPal link below. So, until next time, kill the state, live free.